Grand Finals, the Premiership deciders. Where are they played? Where should they be played? Okay, to answer the first question, that depends on the league. In the AFL and NRL, the same venue is used each year. The AFL in the MCG, and the NRL, the SCG or the Sydney Football Stadium. Super Rugby uses a higher ranked team approach when deciding where to play its Premiership decider. Here on the coast, the answers are similarly varied. Aussie Rules plays their grand final at a venue determined earlier in the season. Rugby League holds its grand final day at this stadium, but that's not the only time of the year teams met at a neutral venue. Take the Coolum Colts for example, a club that, last season, fielded only a side in Division 2A.
We play Caloundra again next week, unfortunately, at Gympie, so it's a bit of a trek to drive, particularly for those boys.
Rugby Union, meanwhile, shifted their grand final away from the stadium after the 2014 season. In 2019, the venue, Noosa, was determined by a club championship. This proved unpopular. If played, the 2020 decider will be played at the home ground of the club who wins the A-grade major semi. This brings us to question 2. Where should it be played? We put this question to our audience, and here is what they said. We ran this poll using instant runoff voting, the same voting method used at elections in Australia. Under this method, and the dataset, having the grand final at the home of the A-grade major semi-winner is the most preferred option. Counting the same ballots under the Condorcet method, a series of 2 candidate preferred counts, we got the same result. It is interesting to note under first past the post, a neutral venue would have been the winner. And while the club championship has its supporters, it does not have much support past that. One thing we perhaps didn't consider when putting this poll together was how these events are scheduled. Cricket, for example, schedules their final series for 2 rounds, semi-finals and grand final, with the Division 1 grand final being played at Carrie Emery Oval, essentially a neutral venue, with lower divisions, plus the women's being played at the home of whoever finishes higher on the ladder. Having the minor premier host, per this comment from Caboolture Sports Cricket, could be the way to go. It could be argued, however, the grand final in cricket could be scaled back from 3 days to a 2-dayer. and an extra round of finals added. However a league decides its grand final venue, it will need to keep its stakeholders happy.